My excitement for Astral Radiance cannot be contained. It's too powerful. Hey everybody, Nick from 9Card TCG, and today we're going to be going over yet another early Astral Radiance deck profile, mostly because this one was pretty popular. Wait, what? This one, this one was requested by a lot of people. I did that poll, and I'm kind of going through it, and a lot of people requested Hisuian Lilligant, which I was a little bit surprised, but hey, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into, and we're going to cover it today. But before we do, if you haven't already, go ahead and give this video a subscribe, I guess. Subscribe and give it a like, leave a comment, let me know what deck you want to see me cover next, and those things tell YouTube this is a good channel and other people should watch it. If you're in the market for some TCG accessories, I am now affiliated with Dragon Shield, which means you can use the link in the video description to get yourself some awesome Dragon Shield matte sleeves. They're the only ones I use. You show up to regionals looking and feeling like a pro. Lastly, if you want to help support the channel a little bit more directly, you can become a channel member. Click the join button to see all the different perks you get, but none of that's ever expected or required. Just you being here is enough for me. Now, with all that we were so close. With all that out of the way, let's head over to the Pokegear app. Link to that in the video description as well, and we'll talk about Hisuian Lilligant. Like every deck list that we create, this one is a very early draft, right? I mean, this could totally change by the time that we get the cards, and then as we start to play, you say, you know what, maybe I need more draw, I need more attack power, I need more switch outs. Like, as you start to play and test, these lists are going to change. I'm sure there's a way you can get a mini dark package in here. You throw like Arceus, a couple of Hisuian Lilligants, and a little dark package, and then there you go. Now you got a grass dark deck. You might be able to do this with Leafeon. I did not consider Leafeon until this very second because mostly I forgot about it, but you can go Leafeon here as well, which might not be a bad way to do things now that I'm really thinking about it. But this is the list that I made using mostly Hisuian Lilligant, and that's what we're going to do. By the way, if you want to see Astral Radiance pack openings, Pokemon sent me some Astral Radiance stuff. It's behind me, or I don't know, I can't see my behind me anymore because of the screen change, but I'm going to be live streaming the opening on May 13th at 10 a.m. Eastern here on YouTube. So if you're subscribed to the channel, or you'll know when it goes live, and if you're not, well, this is a pretty good time to do so you don't miss that live opening. So, and thank you very much to Pokemon for sending me that stuff. Now let's talk about it. Hisuian Lilligant, the V is okay. Pirouette for no energies drawn, so you have 6 cards in your hand. Not a bad attack if you're going second. You do have a retreat cost of 2 and you're weak to fire. No one really cares about fire right now. Fire did get a little bit of support with Brilliant Stars, but nothing really spectacular, and honestly, I'm not really worried about it. That 200 damage, though, the 200 health, I am worried about, because now you're going to be in one-shot territory from Technoblast, you're going to be in one-shot territory from an Arceus VStar with a Choice Belt, you're going to be in one-shot territory from kind of a lot of stuff, if I'm being super honest. Lucario VStar, Zarude V, which is in here, so not ideal, but Pirouette can fill your hand up if you need. And then Leaf Step for 2 grass and a colorless does 130 damage. Not really what we care about. What we do care about here is the V-Star. And 260 health, it's fine for a 2-prize Pokemon. We do have a retreat cost of 1, which is interesting that it drops down. Parallel Spin is our attack for 2 grass and a colorless. It does 130. And you may return an energy attached to this Pokemon back to your hand. If you do, this attack does an additional 100 damage. You could be hitting for 230, which is a pretty good number to hit. Choice Belt, you're hitting 260, so you're going to be one-shotting opposing Hisuian Lilligant. You're going to be one-shotting Whimsicott Vs. You're going to be one-shotting pretty much any V in the game, even without the Choice Belt. So not a bad attack. And then we have our V-Star power. This is an ability called Star Perfume, and you can search your deck for up to 5 in any combination of grass Pokemon and or energies. Reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle the deck. Now, you can only use one V-Star power, and this is a good one to really use early game just to help set up your board state. And some of the stuff that we're going to look to use is, well, we have like this Zarude V. Zarude V, it's just a V Pokemon, 220. It's going to hit for 240 if your opponent's Pokemon is a V, and that's for 2 grass and a colorless. So we're going to kind of jump around, and we'll explain why in just a moment. This Hisuian Lilligant, the parallel spin, lets us return an energy to our hand. If we do, we can then use something like Gardenia's Vitality, if my computer wants to cooperate here. There we go. And Gardenia's Vitality lets you draw 2 cards and then attach up to 2 grass energies from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. It does not say one of your benched grass Pokemon. You can actually do this to any Pokemon you want. And so you attach over onto the Zarude the 2 energies, and then you get one of those energies back from Hisuian Lilligant. So you'll guaranteed have an energy so that you can attach at least 1 and then attach for turn somewhere else if you need. You can also have 2 energies in your hand using something like Star Perfume, use Gardenia's Vitality, attach them, and then now attach for turn, and you have this Zarude V ready to go, all powered up. Same thing for our Shamans. Shamans are gonna, this is a late game kind of closer. We're really just looking to use the Revenge Blast attack, 60 damage plus 40 more for each prize card your opponent has taken. So if they've taken 5 prizes, you're hitting for 260, which is a really, really good number. Depending on how we set things up, there is a potential where you can go a lot higher and knock out VMAXs, but we don't have that build here. We have something else. We do have the Shaman VStar, which Revenge Blast now does 120 plus 40 for each damage. So again, if your opponent has taken 5 prizes, you're going to be hitting for 320 plus Choice Belt 350, knocking out anything in the game. And yeah, you can really close out that game pretty easily. Lumineon V to help search our deck for some supporters like Gardenia's Vitality. Maybe we want to find a Boss's Orders. Maybe we want to find a Raihan, something like that. Now, one of the other cards we have in here is a new card from Astral Radiance as well. Kricketune with the Overflowing Melody. Your grass Pokemon in play, except for Kricketoons, get 40 health extra, 40 extra health. They can't apply more than one of these, but your Zarude now becomes a 260 basic Pokemon. Your Shaman V-Star becomes a 290 health 2 prize Pokemon, a 300 health 2 prize Pokemon. I mean, it is really useful to increase the survivability of these cards. And then we also have a big charm in here to go a step further. You're in VMAX territory on 2 prize Pokemon. So really, really cool. You could up the big charm count if you want. I only have 1 because we got some other supporters in here. The last Pokemon we have is this Sparkling or Radiant Greninja with the Concealed Cards ability. It doesn't want to show up, but basically, once during your turn, you may discard an energy card from your hand to draw 2 cards. Hey, that parallel spin on Liligant VStar gets an energy back into our hand, and then we can discard it to draw 2. We also have a couple of copies of Energy Search, so that we can find energies from the deck, discard them to draw a couple of cards. We have Star Perfume, Star Perfume to find energies, which we can then discard with the Concealed Greninja ability. So a lot of ways to get energies and then discard them or attach them, whatever it is we're trying to do. So between Greninja and Gardenia, we have a fair amount of draw. We do have a couple of Professor's Research in here so that we can discard our hand, draw 7. And then as we start to discard these energies, we might need to get them back. So we do have an Ordinary Rod here to help recover things like the Kricketune, help recover the Sparkling Greninja. I considered using something like an Energy Recycler, but you can only use Star Perfume once. So I didn't think we would really need to get that many energies back. So we went with the Ordinary Rod. And then we have our Pokemon Search, Evolution Incense, Ultra Ball, and Quick Ball. And yeah, we're just going to be able to find Pokemon that we need. We have a Choice Belt to do a little bit more damage. We talked about the Big Charm. air balloon so that we can retreat a little easier. You know, we need to switch into Zarude V. For some reason, we need a hit for 240, maybe not 230. I don't really know the situation where that's super important. But with the big charm, maybe it is, right? Maybe there's a V-Star we need to knock out, and Zarude has the big charm. So we can, previous turn parallel spin, get an energy attached, Gardenia's Vigor or Vitality, whatever it is. Now our Zarude's powered up, air balloon onto the Lilligant so that we can retreat. And yeah, there we go. That's how we can make things happen. Roxanne is a new supporter, and it's going to make it so that we can only play it when our opponent has 3 or fewer prizes remaining. But when we do play it, we each shuffle our hands into our deck. Our opponent draws 2 cards, and we draw 6. So it's a really good way to kind of stop them from being able to do things. We do have a Clara so that we can get Pokemon and or energies from our discard back into our hand. Just another easy, light recovery option. Raihan for when something gets knocked out. This is one of the reasons I really like Shaman V and V-Star. If you have a Shaman V on the bench and something in the active gets knocked out, now you can go ahead and Raihan an energy to the Shaman V, search a deck for something that you need, whether it's another energy or the V-Star, and then you can attach for turn, evolve into the V-Star, and now you're hitting for big damage with Revenge Blast. So really like the Raihan play. Maybe you can even go 2 Raihans. Boss's Orders, there's a V on the bench, we want to take a KO. We have Zarude and Lilligant that are likely to be able to take the knockouts on any Vs. There you go. Training Court is another energy recovery option because we're going to be discarding energies with this Greninja, and because Pokemon get knocked out, we want to be able to get some energies back into the hand, even though we do play a fair amount, and this might be a little bit of overkill on the energy, but yeah, you could remove some of these energies. You might be able to remove the Zarude, you might be able to remove something else, and then throw in a Bibero line in there. Since, the 240 isn't super different from the 230. The reason why I like it is, of course, because it's a basic Pokemon, so you can, Gardenia's Vitality to it and then attach for turn and take a knockout instead of having to evolve into the V-Star. It's the only reason I really like it. The last card is Temple of Sinnoh, and this is a stadium card where all special energies become colorless energies and have no other effects. So this is Rapid Strike energy gets really hurt by this. It provides 1 colorless energy, so that Rapid Strike energy no longer provides 2 energies, it provides 1 colorless energy. Double Turbo energy only provides 1 colorless energy. Fusion Strike energy has 1 colorless energy. For Mew VMAX, it doesn't really make much of a difference because Cross Fusion Strike, for some inexplicable reason, is 2 colorless energies, even though it should be 2 psychic, or at least 1 psychic, 1 colorless. So that's why I only included 1. It really is going to help in things like the Arceus, Whimsicott, and Rapid Strike matchups. And we only run basic grass energy, so we don't really care, but I think the training courts are a little bit more important than, say, the Temple of Sinnoh. But who knows, you might disagree as you play. You might say, you know what, I'm getting wrecked by Urshifu, I gotta try and stop these special energies however I can. And there you go. A lot of the times Rapid Strike Urshifu doesn't run basic fighting energies, or they run a very, very small count, maybe 1 basic fighting energy. So if you can take away the Rapid Strike energy, which is a fighting energy for them, then they're not going to be able to Gale Toss, they're not going to be able to Rapid Flow, and you put them in a really tough spot. That's pretty much the deck. It's not particularly complicated, it's fairly direct. The idea is to attack with Liligant or Zarude until your opponent takes a few prizes. You make it a little harder to take prizes with Cricketune and Big Charm, and then when they do take some prizes, you slap down Shaman V or V-Star and come out with a big KO. We have the Greninja to make it a little bit more consistent. Gardenia's is our main energy accelerator and draw support, very similar to something like a Melanie or a Welder of the past. A couple of other draw supports. The more I look at this, the less I like it, if I'm being super honest. I think you might be better served with a Bieber line for a little bit more draw consistency, but you know, I think it's worth testing. I think it's worth trying and seeing where the faults lie in the deck. This is just a very rough early draft of the deck, and I'm kind of just throwing this out there for you guys to say, okay, here's a template. Take it, refine it on, you know, play it, see what you like, see what you don't like, what does it need, and then we can kind of work together on this as a community to make this an even better deck, you know. When people request a deck like this, like I got requested specifically Hisuian Lilligant, so I made Hisuian Lilligant the star of the show, a Hisuian Lilligant deck versus a deck that has Hisuian Lilligant in it. Those are not the same. So yeah, that's just a little bit of a disclaimer here at the end as we kind of wrap this up. But yeah, Astral Radiance is going to have a lot of different things to offer, and I'm personally very, very excited for it. So there you go. There's we talked about the Hisuian Lilligant deck already and some of the limitations, and yeah. So if you enjoyed this video or found it a little informative, you know, please subscribe, like, comment, all that kind of stuff. Check out the link in the video description for Dragon Shield. Maybe consider becoming a member if you're so inclined. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.